Spevy has gone on a mission. He found a mob of men surrounding a man, Bill. Bill said, "No, please don't." Few of the men go up to him, throws him to the floor, and starts to hack his arm off, then the rest of his limbs, as one of them starts to eat his flesh raw. Spevy asked, "What's the idea here, fellas?" The vegetarian, Meaty, said, "To get food, fool." Psycho Jack asked, "Are you asking to be eaten too, buddy?" while laughing like a pig. Spevy asked, "This poor guy is your idea of food? I'm no weakling to be picked off from the herd. You can kill me too if you want, but I promise you at least 5 of you are coming down with me. You like your odds?" Spevy asked, "This poor guy is your idea of food? I'm no weakling to be picked off from the herd. You can kill me too if you want, but I promise you at least 5 of you are coming down with me. You like your odds?" Psycho Jack said, "Run away, little boy. You don't want to fight the big guys." Fat Man said with a deep, raspy voice, "Yeah, boss. Hell yeah, tell him." Spevy said, "And you think you two won't be a meal to the rest of these men, if you can even call them that anymore?" Meaty said, "We got each other's backs. Either way, we're planning to keep this a secret. Poor Bill here, we will write a suicide letter and put it in his pocket." Psycho Jack said, "Yeah, boss, we gonna put the axe next to him." Spevy asked, "A suicide letter? You fucking idiots? You ever heard someone top themselves by chopping off all their own limbs?" One man said, "People do crazy shit, man." Fat Man said, "Don't say that about boss. Kill him, you heard him." Meaty said, "I am a classy man. I don't kill without a reason. We got the meat from Bill here for now. If he doesn't cooperate, he is dead." Spevy said, "I'll keep quiet, but any of you come near my bunks looking for food, and you'll find yourself next on the chopping board." Then they handshake and Fat Man said, "Bro boss, what you doing, man? Just kill him." Meaty said, "Not my style." Then Spevy goes to take Bill's severed arm and shows it to the men, with 5 fingers up on the hand. He says that it is 5 men he would take down with him in a fight. Then they left the scene and went separate ways, after agreeing to their terms. Then a little later, Wynn has gone to explore the crater down east, outside. He took a hazmat suit from the suit storage and packed 2 knives with him. He walked the stairs up that took him to a room that had another door that led outside. The wind blew snow in as he opened it. Outside, he saw vast icy woods and the other 3 bunker structures. He walked about 15 minutes to the crater, and on the way, the wind kept pushing against him hard, making him slip a few times.
Our spaceship sitting in a crater, sucking totally alien to my understanding. It is out like a soul out in the icy woods, go inside probably with people harm. This is making out so strange, falling through the floor. It penetrated my suit and rolled up my ass.
Upon arriving to the crater, he noticed that there was a large, strange-looking massive spaceship wreck in the crater. He slid the side down and found a food can from the snow. Then he went in the ship from the side that was tilting down. He made it to a strange hallway. Both the ship's exterior and interior looked totally alien, something he had never seen or could have imagined prior. He found a room that looked like a control room. Inside were badly decomposed, strange-looking bodies that were tall and weirdly shaped. Then suddenly something small crawled on the floor, a small snake. It penetrated his suit through the ankle, going in. Upon touch to the skin, the specimen shot instant anesthesia to his body that made him not feel any of its movements. It crawled up the suit and went inside his body, up into his intestines. He appeared fine, but felt strange inside. The suit had a leak, but he tried to tie it shut. This made Wynn run out of the room and jump down to the snow. He climbed up the side and made it to the forest. He was exhausted, cold, and his skin was starting to itch and burn, but he kept running. When the bunker came to view, he heard an animalistic high-pitched scream echo in the woods, coming from far away. He ran to the door and went inside the bunker. After taking a shower at the contamination room, from the mirror, he saw that he had some radiation burns all over his body. Other residents noticed this and arranged a transport to him to the bunker's hospital. Wynn blacked out and woke up at the hospital, holding on to the can of food he found, hopefully recovering fast from his injuries. Then it was time for alliance talks. Spevy said, I think we've discussed a fair bit, and we're gonna vote when. IX didn't answer him. Then it was time for elimination, and due to IX not voting, the votes ended up piling over against IX, so IX got voted out. Taco said, "Rest in peace, bro." Spevy said, "I thought we were agreeing to vote when. You could have survived." Then IX walked out of the room, and the same cannibal gang from before attacked him, hacking him into pieces for food. Then Spevy created an alliance with Taco. Spevy said, "Hey, as far as I'm aware, we're the two players who have played before left. Maybe a really cool person as well, but I'm not sure. I just wanted to get your opinion on stuff. IX made an alliance with me, and we agreed to vote someone, but then they didn't vote that person. I can tell you it wasn't you we voted for or said we would, but they vouched for you, and I trust you, possibly more than IX themselves considering we agreed on who to vote, and they didn't. I don't know who to vote next if it comes to where we have to vote again, but I trust you and think you'd be a good player later in the game, so I won't vote for you." Taco said, "I won't vote for you either. We'll see how the scribbles go. If it comes to voting, we should probably vote together." Spevy said, "I would agree with that. I feel like everyone in this tribe is chill, and I don't want to be targeting people unfairly until it's absolutely necessary, so I think we should decide who to vote only if and when it comes to it." Cheesy has gone to explore the bunker early at night to investigate the murder. She met a drunken group on the hallway. Cheesy asked, "How do you have access to so much alcohol?" Chad said, "There's a plenty in the storage. They prepared for drinking better than eating." Then Chad passed out. He falls from his standing pose down to the floor. He had too much to drink. Cheesy went to check the alcohol storage on the floor below. She found a dead body with a slashed throat and intestines hanging out. He had a note on him saying, "If you are reading this, you're next." There was a footprint of a boot on the blood. Then she heard frantic footsteps. She ran up the stairs in the room Hugo met at the showers earlier, Jack, was walking towards the stairs direction. Cheesy asked, "What business he's got down here?" Jack said, "I wonder who is next. I couldn't get sleep. I got up from sleeping just a minute ago and going for a piss." Cheesy then said, "Suspicious," and noticed that he was wearing boots like the killer. Cheesy asked him why he's wandering around considering he's scared of the murders. Jack said, "Pissing in the trash can or in my water cup is not worth it. Gotta put my big boy pants on and face the darkness." Then Cheesy helped him back to his bunk, but noticed that he was sleeping in the same bed with his friend William. Jack said, "We were scared, don't make fun of me." Then she noticed that there was a notepad and a pen on the table. She took it and inspected it, comparing it to the note from the body. They were written with a different type of pen. She returned the items back and decided that Jack seems innocent. There were no alliance talks today, as the tribe didn't have to go vote today. In the evening, an old woman by the name of Rebecca came to knock on their door, so Lean answered it. Rebecca said, "Jesus Christ, what a handsome young man. I have come to get to know you." Lean asked, "Who are you?" Rebecca said, "Going door by door, meeting everyone since times are tough and unity is needed." She says, "A nice room you've got," while she is eyeing the room, noticing the book, then returning to eye contact. Lean asked, "Do you know anything about this book? I saw that look on your face." Rebecca said, "Oh no, just catch my eye." After she left, Rebeck, who was asleep on his bunk, back facing the ceiling shirtless, had a burn mark on his back, which matches the symbols that you have been seeing all over. Perma and Cameron woke up from a nap, and the trio decided to follow her secretly. The path led them to a bunk door that had dried up blood on the handle. Upon opening it, they saw a dark room that had candle lit in it. A person with a black cloak was kneeling on the ground, facing away from them. Water in a glass started to boil, and the glass exploded. Perma said, "Wasteful knob, what are you doing here?" Then Perma touched the person's shoulder. But as he did, the paintings all blew out at the same time. All glass objects exploded, the lights went out, and something heavy grew in the air. Suddenly, all three men were thrown out the room into the hallway with a massive force, and the bunk door shut itself. Their flight ended with hitting the back wall of a hallway. Perma hit his head and had a blurry vision. Lean hurt his ankle and Cameron got some pain in his ribs. Cameron found a metal pipe for Lean to use as a walking stick. They checked the bathroom garden and found that it was untouched, as in not harmed or having been visited. The garden was growing slowly. They then decided to return to their bunks. Then Cameron created an alliance with Lean and Perma. Cameron said, "Allo allo. Fun times in the hallway today. I am almost certain Rebek has already reached out to y'all. I think he was covering all his bases in the first day with alliances. I wanted to reach out today either way. I know he's likely floated my name, because he floated just about everyone to me at different times. But I guess I will leave it up to fate and who you think might be more valuable long-term. You both are rock stars at the scribble." Perma said, "Assuming he's got one with you as well then." Cameron said, "Yeah, and I figured I was also floated judging by his style. Probably said I was quiet, which I am a bit. He had every angle covered from day one, so I know if we are up it's likely me next, but I figured I'd reach either way. I would love to stay another day if we do land in the bottom. I can only make the case for what I have done here, like found our starter weapons and creepy backup today. And it was nice meeting you two kooks in this weird, unforgiving world." Perma said, "Yeah, can confirm with you near the start Rebek did suggest you as our second sacrifice." Cameron said, "He suggested every single member to me in a differing alliance. I smelled a foul from day one. I was just lying low. And because of that I know I'll be voting for him should we land in the bottom, so you two will really have the power to make it go whatever way you want. I guess y'all should decide how you want to play that. Don't split the vote though, haha." Perma asked, "Which one of them would you prefer to live? I feel like Rebek is slightly more likely to betray us later is the only issue there. Kind of the way he plays, mainly a vibe, but was very into how Quarter plays and also went around at the start to both groups and suggested an alliance and gave names of who to kill." Lean said, "Yeah, let's take Cameron to the merge." Then, Postal, Space Wolf and Bobby had an alliance talk. Space Wolf asked, "Who we voting?" Bobby said, "We have no other choice but TG mid, but man we're just losing every single scribble." Postal said, "I don't want to be voted out, but if worst comes to worst, vote me." Bobby asked, "Who else will bring the fog on our enemies then?" Postal said, "I am but a vessel." Bobby said, "I think I'd be fine with being voted. You guys carry the story." Space Wolf said, "But like you said, Bobby, if TG mid gets through he will have an alliance with Quarter and stuff." Bobby said, "Let's vote TG mid now." Then TG mid had to talk to himself. TG mid said, "I'm already dead. The most I can do is speedrun as many tips as I can to Space Wolf. There's nothing I can do to prevent this. Everyone else is probably going to vote me." In his final moments, TG mid, who had an alliance with Space Wolf, tried to get him to vote Bobby, but he had made up his mind. Then Space Wolf, Postal, and TG mid have gone to explore the outside for the first time, coming out from hiding from the vents as they were both wanted for attempted murder. As they were leaving, Space Wolf asked, "Wait, where's the radiation detector?" Postal said, "I turned it into a bomb." They went outside to the frozen and icy forest with hazmat suits. They walked their way through the doomed forest to the city. Then upon arriving at the city street, they found frozen cars, human bodies, and deactivated robots. They entered one of the buildings and found a staircase going down. On the walls of the stairs, they noticed scratch marks. At the bottom was an opening with a big door that was open. The door also had scratch marks at the front. Behind it was another set of stairs going further down into a bunker. Below was a hallway with many dead bodies of deceased humans who had been badly torn apart, limbs ripped off, and partially devoured. The bodies were fairly recent. They explored the food storage connected to the hallway and found 7 cans of food. The 3 ate one each. They looted the bodies and found knives. A Rambo one and a pocket knife. Then they returned upstairs, and inspected the building further. It was an apartment building and had deactivated robots in it, as well as AI propaganda posters. Then they heard an animalistic high-pitched scream from far away in the distance and ran upstairs to a storage room. They barricaded the door with a fridge, and they will for now remain hiding there. Then it was time for elimination, and TG Mid was voted out. TG Mid said, "Later, bye y'all." Postal said, "I blow him up." Space Wolf said, "No, 'cause we are in the room." The daily Scribble matches were played, and it was determined that Tribes C and B will go vote tomorrow.